And welcome into a basketball extravaganza episode here. Adam Sheets, Chris Reynolds with you for an NBA season preview as the NBA season is fastly approaching here. I mean, you kind of get caught up in football season. You have October baseball. You have a lot going on. It's Halloween, holiday season coming up, but then basketball season just sneaks right up on top of you, Chris. But super exciting. Should be a very unpredictable basketball season, especially in the Eastern Conference with all the injuries and some of the moves made in the West. So should be a fun season to say the least.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of big storylines. We tried talking about the off-season moves as our first podcast, and then it feels like we haven't talked about basketball in forever, Adam, since that time back in the archaic ages, before Panic was born. So, time to talk basketball. It really does sneak up on you, as you said, with everything else going on. And it's like last second, I'm like, oh my God, like basketball's starting next week. That's kind of crazy to me, but very excited for it. I think we have a lot of interesting things. And like you said with the East and the West, maybe the biggest gap I've seen in quite a while.
Yeah, at least like there was always a big gap when LeBron was in the East, but you always had LeBron in the East. You don't really have that right now where you know who's going to be in the finals at least, and then it's who gets beat up in the West. So, yeah, there's a huge gap. But let's talk about the biggest storyline. So there's a bunch to talk about, but to keep for time restrictions here, Chris, we're each going to pick one. So what is your biggest storyline heading into the 2025 season?
For me, I just think, this has been a talking point the last few years, but I think it's kind of the end of this. It's the old versus the young players. LeBron, Steph, KD. I think this is the end of that time because I think LeBron could really be his last year. So I think this is kind of like the phase out of the older players. And I think this is when we officially move on. So I think it's more of like that swan song, whatever it's pronounced or called, with like LeBron's last year. Curry probably can't keep this up for that long. And then KD is on his, I would hope, last team. So it's kind of like the last, age for those guys, whereas all these young guys keep coming up. And I feel like even though they're good, they haven't really captured, most people the way that LeBron has, or Steph, or Kevin Durant, James Harden, even Russell Westbrook, Damian Lillard. Like that age of guys, half of them are already kind of like aging out. Westbrook can't find a team. Dame wasn't the same last few years and is injured again now. So, and Harden, isn't the same guy. So I think this is kind of like our final goodbye to like those guys being elite.
Yeah, I think this is, every year is that way, especially with how old those guys are getting. I don't think this is LeBron's last year because I think LeBron's smart enough to announce he's having a last year so he can get that Kobe Bryant swan song.
He said he doesn't.
He's going to. He says a lot. He says a lot of things, Chris. He says a lot of things.
He said he heard from, I think, was it Michael Jordan, that like, don't say it's your last year because that's what the season becomes about, and you can't like focus on winning.
Yeah, Michael Jordan wants that last year to focus about winning, even though he said if Phil Jackson's not the coach, I'm not going to be here. And Phil Jackson had already been told he's not going to be the coach next year. So, yeah, I wonder what that was all about. Yeah, okay. They all talk a lot, is what I'm trying to say. But no, I think he's definitely going to try to do that swan song final year, especially because he's one of the few guys I think that would deserve it if he would want it. So I don't think this will be his last year. I think he goes at least one more after this, especially because I think the Lakers can compete. Whether the level of they can compete would be different. So I think if he feels there's a chance he could win one, I think he's going to stay around as long as he could. Steph, I think it's always interesting because of his size and how much older he's getting, and the supporting cast around him also aging with him. Like they haven't put a bunch of young guys with him. Like Jimmy Butler's his second best player. Well, he's getting older. Draymond's still there. They have Pods, who's interesting young piece. They just re-upped Kuminga. So should be interesting to see
and
there.
Steph too relies on like getting open, running around without the ball, which tends to go away as you get older. The shooting will stay, but the ability to get open like that probably doesn't.
KD's the one guy who's with kind of a young core with him. He's got the young Rockets to play with, so it'll be interesting to see maybe if that prolongs his prime a little bit and see if he can keep on going. But yeah, I think that's an interesting storyline every year we look at it. For me, I think the biggest storyline, this is an obvious one. It's the Eastern Conference with all the injuries that we have seen, the Achilles tears of Damian Lillard, which has basically blown the Bucks up, Jason Tatum out for the Celtics, Tyrese Halliburton out for the reigning Eastern Conference champions and the Pacers. So all those injuries, who's going to step up and take that void? We saw the Knicks make some moves, not real roster moves, but made a new coaching change. The Cavs are still there. That was a 1 seed that got eliminated in the second round last year. The Magic went out and got Desmond Bain. The Hawks made a bunch of moves to try to compete this year. So I think you feel that vacuum of teams trying to get there. The Pistons were a team that really surprised people last year. They're still young. They're coming back this season. So and you just kind of see that vacuum of teams in the Eastern Conference and to see who's going to step up and try to take that step and compete and maybe try to contend for the title in the East. As the West could really beat each other up to the point that that Eastern Conference team, if one team's able to separate themselves from the rest, could be coming in a lot fresher.
Yeah, I think maybe that's the biggest storyline, but not one that compels me the most. Because I disagree with you. I do think it's LeBron's last year, but when you look at this just map of basketball teams, the East is really beat up. The last two Eastern Conference winners, like the teams that won, have both lost their star player. I agree with you that it's pretty, what's a nice word to say, terrible on that side of the conference. And yeah, I agree with you that there's a huge gap, and I think it does open the door though for the Knicks, Adam. Just saying.
Yeah. So you think it's LeBron's last year? Would I convince you it's not if I told you Bryce James is draft eligible this year?
LeBron said he does not care about that.
LeBron has said a lot of things, Chris. You know, he knew Kobe was going to score
Listen,
81. Right when he
LeBron-
turned on that game, he knew Kobe was scoring 81 that night. You know,
Having-
that's just
Having three family members means nothing to LeBron because Giannis already did it. The Bucks brought in Alex Antetokounmpo on a two-way, Adam. They have Thanasis, Alex, and Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, there's one thing playing with your brothers, playing with your kids, both of them. That's impressive. To have two kids in the league with you at the same time.
I don't
That's a
know.
lot.
Man. I don't know.
I don't think he's retiring yet because I think he wants a swan song, and I don't think there's something in me that says he's not going to retire a Laker, that he's going to retire somewhere else.
I would. The only place I'd really be happy with is a Cav.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
If he went back to the Heat, that would feel weird. Anywhere else would be random, and I don't want to see him in a fourth jersey. Just
him, KD, Steph, Golden State reunion next year.
honestly, that would just be fun because they would be the most watched team by far.
That'd be hilarious to watch. Just see and then all the media around. Oh, that'd be interesting. But let's get
They'd have
into.
to get rid of Draymond though to bring in Kevin Durant.
I think that's a sacrifice that they would be willing to make for that amount of money.
I know. But...
Yeah, but I think there's a lot of interesting storylines going into the year. But we'll jump right into it. Like I said, trying to keep this a little concise, get everything out there for you guys. But award predictions, bunch of awards. So, Chris, the way I organized it, we'll go bottom to top because we'll end with the MVP, of course, the most important award. We'll start with your favorite award, the most improved player in the NBA. Chris is outspoken that he does not like this award. But who do you think is going to win this award?
This award changes its criteria every year, and I've never been able to really predict it because someone who actually does improve might not win. It might be someone that goes from amazing to super amazing. So I don't know. I'm going to go with Matas Bazelis on the Bulls. He was a rookie last year, sophomore year. I think that's a lot of easy times for guys to improve. I think he was very good in the Bulls last year, and they lost Levine towards the end of the year, so I think that's going to open up more opportunities for him. I think he was good. I don't care about this award. It's when I care least about. Adam, we didn't throw in Clutch Player of the Year on this ballot. You know what?
We'll add Clutch Player of the Year if you would like.
We should skip the stupid awards.
We'll add Clutch Player of the Year if you would like. I forgot to put it down.
No, it's okay.
I'll say if you really want to add it, we can add it.
I don't because it's stupid.
All right. My most improved player. I actually really like this one. I'm taking Andrew Nembhard from the Indiana Pacers. You got to think, McConnell's out to start the year. Halliburton's out for the entire season. So someone's got to take over a lot of that role for the Pacers. Nembhard's a guy who is career high, I believe, is averaging 10 points a game. He's okay efficiency-wise. He's above 45% pretty much every year in his field goal percentage. So I think his role is just going to step up. I think a lot of Pacers, the way they play, Rick Carlisle, the speed they play, and a lot of guys get opportunities anyway. And I think Andrew Nembhard's going to be a big benefactor of maybe Tyrese Halliburton not being there statistically. So I think Andrew Nembhard is absolutely going to take a step up. I think we've seen flashes of it throughout some of these playoff runs, him hitting some big shots. So yeah, I think Andrew Nembhard, he's already a great defender. Everyone kind of knows him for that. But now I think offensively you're going to see a big step up for him with all the injuries in Indiana.
Yeah, Nembhard's one of those guys where it's I don't really know if he could really be the focal point of an offense, but he'll have a random stretch in a playoff game where he looks like he's doing everything, running all over the court. I think situationally that makes a lot of sense for him to be that guy. I don't think he's that guy that can elevate, but I do think situationally he's probably has the best chance given the fact that
Oh,
the other guards are hurt.
long term, I don't think he's the guy. But for one
Yeah.
season, when Halliburton's out, then he can come back. Then you have two guys to worry about, maybe like a Dame McCollum type situation with two guards. That's just something definitely to watch out for Andrew Nemhard this season. Defensive Player of the Year, Christopher. I think I know where you're going to go here, and I think I'm probably going in the same place.
Yeah, it's a boring pick because it's the most obvious pick, but he hasn't won it yet. Give me Victor Wembanyama. He honestly could have won it the last 2 years, but last year he didn't make the game requirement, and then the year before I think he missed games. But also Rudy won it; it was stupid. But Wembanyama block shots better than any other player because he's I think 7'5" now. They're saying, and he's truly gigantic, but he's also a great at actually judging when to block a shot. He's not just tall; he's actually skilled. Easy pick for me.
Yep, couldn't agree more. I'm taking Victor Wembanyama as well, as long as he plays enough games. Of course, he's had the injury problem, had the blood clot problem last year. But if he's playing, I think he's definitely going to win it, especially because he hasn't won it. He's also a guy, because you mentioned the rules are kind of scuffed on most improved player. He's a guy who could be up for that award as well, just with the way things are, because statistically, you could have a big jump, and if the Spurs would make the playoffs, he'd be right there for that award as well. So, yeah.
His season averages would be the exact same, but because he played more games, they would count that as most improved, as if him not getting a blood clot would be improvement. Maybe they should just scrap the award, but it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't
They're never
bother me.
scrapping the award, Chris.
They should.
It's an award that's been around for like 50 years, so I don't think
But they
get
can
rid of it.
create the Clutch Player Award.
Well,
I don't
yeah.
know.
All right, Coach of the Year, Chris. Who do you got winning Coach of the Year?
And I'm going with someone that you had in your life for a long time. I'm going with Quinn Snyder. Now on the Atlanta Hawks, I think the Hawks, we were talking about situations, make up a lot of these awards. The Hawks are in a very weak Eastern Conference. I think they can do very well in that. If they could get a top 4 seed, the Hawks, I think, have a lot of nice pieces around Trae Young. Quinn Snyder poised to lead the Hawks to a top 4 seed, surprise some people, have a good record, and I think he could win it.
Yep, I agree. Quinn Snyder's definitely going to be up there on the list. Some guys I don't have winning it, but be guys to watch for. Joe Mazzulla and Rick Carlisle are guys to watch for here to win Coach of the Year because of the injuries. If they're able to get their teams to the playoffs, I think a lot of people would be like, man, that's really impressive, and I could see them being the run. They might have too much cachet to win it though. But the two guys I got two guys here, and it's whoever I think has the better record. Ime Udoka from Houston and David Adelman, the coach of the Nuggets. I think those two guys, I think in the Western Conference with how loaded it is, if they're able to get their teams, which are extreme title contenders, to maybe steal the 1 seed from Oklahoma City, to be able to compete, I think they would have a really good chance of winning this award. I'd probably lean David Adelman because Ime Udoka has been in the light for a long time, dating back to his time in Boston. I think David Adelman, first year as a full-time head coach, I think if they have a really good year in Denver, which I expect them to, I think he's going to be the front runner and a guy who's going to be in the conversation all year for Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And as you mentioned, if you're a coach of the league for 5 years, you're not winning this award. You have to be first or second year with a team to win this award, which doesn't really make any sense to me, honestly. The criteria for this award is also kind of stupid. It's not a technical criteria, but it's it doesn't really make sense how the voting goes. Eric Spoelstra could probably win this award half the time, and he never gets it. Mm-hmm. And then half the coaches that win this award get fired a year later. So, sure, I think the Nuggets pick's a good pick because they're probably going to be at least top 3 seed in a very competitive West, and then he's a new head coach there. But they also have a lot of expectations, so I don't know if they're going to really, outperform.
Another guy, Mike Brown, coach of the Knicks. They take off.
Thinking him.
Yeah, if they take off, he could be the guy as well. I forget his name, but the Magic coach, of course, is another guy that's probably going to be high on a lot of people's lists. And then looking elsewhere, I don't know, JJ Redick, because he's the Lakers coach, always going to get brought up. And then obviously any team that you expect to be bad that ends up being good is definitely going to be up there as the front runner for Coach of the Year. But now let's go to Rookie of the Year. Chris, are you going to go with the boring pick? Or are you...
I'm going to go with the boring pick because as I guess I haven't said much in this podcast. I love basketball and I try to watch as many games from random teams and I try to cover everything. However, I'm not a college basketball super fan. So I'm really, not into the drafts that much because half the time, anytime I try, I feel like half the guys I learn, I just forget or they are terrible. So I'm just going to go with Cooper Flagg. And I also think why partially it's, a boring pick, but a good pick. With Kyrie Irving out, with Anthony Davis out, or not out, but the ability for Anthony Davis to miss a lot of games, Cooper Flag could get a big role, and he's very good compared to these other teams who like if on the Spurs, for example, Wembanyama's there, even like these bad teams. Who else had a top pick? I can't remember, but
Sixers.
Sixers, they
BJ
have
Edgecombe.
maybe Embiid if he plays, but they have Maxey there already. They have, well, actually, he just got hurt, but Maxey didn't. But you get the point. There's a lot of good pieces around them, and I could easily see a case where the Mavs are like, oops, Kyrie's hurt and Anthony Davis is hurt, and Cooper Flag gets his own show.
It's going to take a lot for Cooper Flag not to win it. I will say
Yeah.
that because that's just the boring pick. That's what all the media writers that say they watch basketball that actually don't watch basketball are just going to vote for him. They're like, oh, it's Cooper Flag. So that's what he's going to get. But the guy I'm going to say, you could say this is a homer pick, but Ace Bailey. Ace Bailey from Utah.
Ace Bailey, yeah. Adam,
yeah.
You could call this, like an easy pick, but you're with the homer pick. I don't know which one's worse, but
Well,
you
no,
can
because
make your,
I have
he
reasons
has a
why
good
I'm going to
case,
say Ace Bailey.
but give your case.
Ace Bailey, first of all, a lot of people thought he was in contention to be a top 3 pick. He fell to 5 because of some things, but he's on a team that does not have a top guy. He's probably going to get the opportunity to be the top guy. He's going to take a lot of shots. So I think statistically, if he's efficient, he's going to put up some crazy numbers. They're not going to win games, but I don't know if Cooper Flag does. Like you said, there's a chance for him to take off. But if AD does play a lot, Kyrie comes back, and maybe he takes a step back and kind of has a learning curve and just kind of there playing well, but not statistically doing a lot of things. I think some of these guys, Ace Bailey, Con Knippel's a guy I think that would have a chance as well. The guy the Hornets drafted 4th overall. He's a guy who can really shoot the ball. I think he can play off LaMelo Ball really well. Dylan Harper, again, you kind of said with Wembanyama might fall back, but and they also De'Aaron Fox. They have a weird guard rotation right now in San Antonio.
Not a fan.
I think Ace Bailey does have a chance to make some noise here with his ability to do so. I'm not saying he's going to be the best rookie, but I think, if Cooper Flag doesn't get the statistical nod that maybe he gets playing with a lot of other star players, Ace Bailey could have those crazy numbers to look at by the end of the season.
Maybe Adam, or
They
maybe
compare him to Kevin Durant.
Maybe
They
Larry
compare him
Martin.
Well, they're trading. They're going to trade him. So
No, because the Danny Ainge asked for too much, and it ruins the ability to trade with him. Because he, bank robs every team, and then they don't want to trade with him because they know they're going to look stupid.
Yeah, now Lauri Markkanen is going to get traded in February. I hope you know that because the team's going to need a power forward.
I hope he is for his sake.
He's not. He's making a lot of money, Chris, to play on a team where there's no expectations. I don't think he's hurting right now.
It's not that there's no expectations, that the team wants to lose. Is that fun for you?
They're not. They don't. Okay, let's stop this. They do not want to lose because they messed around
to get a good draft pick.
Yes, they do, but they don't care anymore because they know the draft lottery is going to be rigged against them every year. So it's like it doesn't really matter. So
but I think if you're in a team that's consistently trying to lose, it doesn't encourage you, doesn't inspire you, Adam, to play your best basketball.
Yeah, we'll see. But he does not. He is getting paid handsomely. So, and he's played his best basketball of his life in Utah. So
you could pay me handsomely to dig up dog poop. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, but you said about he doesn't inspire him to play his best basketball. The best basketball he's ever played has been in Utah.
His first year when they were winning some games and
and last year he was hurt.
Yeah,
that's just how it works.
He went off to the war in Finland and then came back. It wasn't the same.
He got hurt. That happens, and that's why the team was
even
bad.
Before he got hurt, he wasn't the same.
They have a really good coach. Will Hardy is a really good coach. So
that's what they say. It's just because they're always losing. It's hard to tell. But I do think he's a good coach.
I was say, who's on his team and what conference is he in?
I know, but I just think he got that credit because he was with the Celtics and got a really good reputation. But it's like, can we see it? But they gave him a huge extension because they're like, it's not your fault,
Well, no, I do feel bad for him because if he would have stayed for the Celtics for one more year, he'd be the head coach of the Boston Celtics. So. Yeah. Do feel bad for him a little bit. All right, but now let's get to MVP, Christopher. Who do you think is going to be the MVP of the NBA?
This might be his, last chance to win it. He's won it before. He's won it twice before. But he has not gotten it in a while, so the voter fatigue has worn off. He is consistently, statistically, at the top of the league in pretty much everything, like near the top. And he's on a team that's terrible, so he's going to get all the chances, and he's in a conference where if the team overperforms, he could get a lot of the credit. I'm going to go with Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think it's his time to go back and actually win the MVP. He's been top 3 or 4 every year since he first started getting in the conversation. He won it in 2019, 2020, and then it was Jokic, Embiid, Jokic. Last year was Shea. But Shea just won it. I don't think they're going to want to give it to him again. Jokic, I think people respect so much they would give it to him again, but he did win 3 times, so I think there's part of that, factored in. Giannis hasn't won in like 5 years. So I think there's a real chance if he just has like the same season he's been having, and if Jokic isn't a top 3 seed in the West and the Thunder don't win like 65 games, I think it's Giannis could really like kind of become like, oh, he should win it again. We haven't voted for him in a while, and I think that's kind of how this works sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to win it. No disrespect, I don't think he's going to win it because I don't think
Why
his
not,
team's
Adam?
going to. I don't think his team's going to be good enough. And plus, I don't know if he will be on the Milwaukee Bucks by the end of the season.
I don't
So
think the Bucks are going to do an in-season trade with Giannis.
I don't
I think
know.
they're going to trade him at the end of this year to a better team. So this is Giannis's last chance to win one more MVP.
If the season blows up in their face, I don't know. I could see
I
them
don't think
say,
it will. It's hard to blow up in your face when you have Giannis in the East, unless he gets hurt. But he's been pretty healthy, except for a few postseasons. Like, you know, I would bank on him being
I would
there and
just
having the Bucks at the very least being like a 6 seed.
I just watch out. I could see the Spurs, if things go well early, just say, let's go get them. And yeah, they have a lot of draft picks. They have a lot of young players that the Bucks might want, and they have a salary to match. So,
The Spurs have never once been a fun, aggressive team. They made one trade of De'Aaron Fox, and then already looks bad. So, like, I don't think they really want to do that again.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But I'm glad you took Giannis because now this sets up because, we haven't talked much basketball on the podcast. So now I get to be the guy who backs this player on the podcast. I'm taking Luka Doncic. So thank you for
No,
letting me
Adam,
be the
you're
Luka
not.
Doncic guy.
That's not how that works. We could both back him.
Nope. You're the Giannis guy. I'll be the Luka guy. That's just how it's going to be.
Those are my two
By the way,
favorite players in
also,
the league right
hold
now.
up. You think this is Giannis's last year? He's 30 years
In
old.
Milwaukee, I meant.
You said to win MVP. That's why I was a little concerned. I was like,
Because I think after this year he goes to a contender, and it's a lot harder to win when you're on a better team.
Chris, if he's in New York and he has good numbers, he is winning MVP.
But with Brunson and
Chris, if
whoever
he
else
is in
you're
New
gonna at
York
least
and he
over-
has good numbers and drags the Knicks and they're looking title contender, he is going to win MVP.
maybe.
He's
But
in
I
New
think
York.
if Jokic has a same season, Jokic has less help
But
around him.
let's go because that's the exact reason I'm taking Luka Doncic. First of all, he's in shape. Yeah, he went out, he got himself in shape. He looks great. He's playing. LeBron's going to be out to start the year, so he's going to get a chance to get a big start. He's in LA now, which I think is going to help him because he's going to be on national TV a bunch. Everyone's going to be watching him. His numbers, I think, are going to be really, really good this year. I think JJ Redick now with a full offseason to build the offense around him, I think is going to be very, very fun to see. So yeah, I'm taking Luka Doncic to an MVP. I think if the Lakers get a top 5 seed in the West and the numbers look the way I think the numbers are going to look for Luka Doncic, I think that he is going to be running away with MVP. One, he's never won one, and a lot of people are like, how has Luka Doncic not won MVP yet? So they're going to be like, oh, well, we can vote for him. And plus, he's a Laker now, and a Laker has not won MVP, I believe, since Kobe Bryant in 2008. So
I think that's the best case that you could make for Luka Doncic, and I hope he does. However, one thing concerns me, which is if it is LeBron's last year, and LeBron comes in and tries, putting it all out in the court, I think that could take away from Luka. I think Luka's best chance to win MVP is going to be the first year that LeBron leaves. And I think that's going to be like, I think that's what I'm waiting for Luka is like, we need another type of Mavs situation. The issue with him on the Mavs, though, Luka just has a knack for his best statistical seasons come when the team's losing. And when the team's, better, his numbers are slightly down, not super down, or he misses some of the regular season and then, is usually healthy for the playoffs. We saw that a few times with him. So he hasn't really been able to put together a full MVP season, and maybe him being in shape will help him now. I hope it does. But I'm going to bank more on Giannis being there, helping a bad team be better in a weekend East where Luka, it's going to be hard for the Lakers to get a top 4 seed in the West. I don't think any teams, it's going to be hard for anyone to want to give him an MVP if the Lakers are the 6th seed. The last time I remember that was Jokic did it when the Nuggets were really, really bad around him. Everyone was hurt, and he got them. And then before that was Russell Westbrook in that triple-double season, the first one. The Lakers are not that bleak around him to, deserve a 6th seed player winning MVP.
So if LeBron's not playing, who's the guy on the Lakers? You're like, man, that how can you lose with that guy as your teammate?
I think if LeBron's hurt the whole year, sure, but I think LeBron's gonna be back. I think
Well,
Luka's
yeah,
gonna start off with the most MVP buzz. I agree, but I think he'll probably, you know, peter out some way through the year.
I don't know, man. L.A. These markets matter a lot.
And they haven't won since 2008.
Yeah, I know. Well, they haven't had a player real deserving outside of LeBron in 2020. Like
And
so,
and Giannis in Milwaukee beat him.
well, they beat him out for MVP, but then you know who won the title that year. So it's just I don't think
LeBron
LeBron's
James. And I'm
licking
very
his
happy
wounds.
they did.
Yeah, so all right, let's go to playoff teams. I'm just glad I get to claim myself as the Luka Doncic guy for the remainder of the podcast. So thank you.
A Luka Doncic fan.
Nope, I am.
I didn't say one thing bad about Luka. That's my guy.
We had a conversation this summer when you said that you thought Luka's peaked, that he's never going to have a year as good as he had in Dallas. So
what I was saying was I don't see how Luka can get much better than what he currently is. Was my
and he's
point.
25 years old, which would be the biggest
And he's
disappointment of a
already
career
he's like
ever.
Average
So,
like 34. It's hard to get above that.
Yeah, could you
Chamberlain?
Yeah, you know, Michael Jordan had a great year in 1988. I think he got better. I think he got
Luka
better.
could get better, but I don't think statistically he's going to be much better. And unless Luka becomes a great defender, I don't really see his offense is almost perfect.
Yeah, he dribbles the ball a lot. Can't play off the ball, but I mean,
I don't think that's going to change.
Yeah, I don't know. It might have to. But hey, let's go to the playoff teams, Chris. Let's start with the Eastern Conference. Who do you have making the playoffs out east?
All right, you want all 8?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I put this in order, but obviously some fluctuation. I'm gonna have the Knicks 1, the Magic 2. I have the Cavs 3, the Hawks 4, the Pistons stay in at 5. I have the Bucks 6, and then my 2 play-in teams are the Bulls and Raptors. They have so much play-in experience. Credit to those guys. Every year they purposely don't make the playoffs. They try to make the play-in for the extra revenue and to get that play-in experience in case they need it. So I think that's a pretty good top 3. And then I think there's a clear drop-off after Knicks, Magic, and Cavs.
All right. I have a similar list. I have the Cavs at 1. I think they're going to stay at the top of the East in the regular season. I have the Knicks at 2. The Magic at 3. I have the Pistons at 4. I think I was really impressed with what the Pistons were able to do last year. I have the Hawks at 5. I have the Celtics at 6. I think a lot of people are writing off the Celtics because Jason Tatum's out. I think a lot of people forget Jaylen Brown still exists. So I think Jaylen Brown and Derek White are going to be able to get them in a weak Eastern Conference to the playoffs. I have the Bucks at 7, and then I have the Sixers as my 8 as a team that I don't know, but if they stay healthy, I mean, they have maybe one of the best players in the Eastern Conference, Joel Embiid. They have Tyrese Maxey. They have Paul George. They have VJ Edgecombe. They have talent. So if they're all on the court at the same time, I think they're absolutely one of the top 8 in the Eastern Conference, especially in a very weak Eastern Conference.
So I'll give you the Sixers in the sense of I could see it, but I don't want to pick it. I don't want to bank on Joel Embiid being healthy. I don't want to bank on Paul George being healthy or playing well. I loved Paul George back when he was on the Thunder. And ever really since then, it's really been frustrating to root for him. Tyrese Maxey, I think, is good, and Edgecombe's a rookie. I think he should be good, but it depends if there other guys are playing, he might not develop. But if those guys are hurt, maybe he could flourish. I also think Jared McCain, who I said earlier, he's injured. I think he hurt his thumb or pinky.
Yeah, thumb.
I don't know when he's gonna come back, but they have the talent. It's just the fact that they're the Sixers. They consistently get hurt and underperform. They're definitely better than the Bulls and the Raptors. But in terms of a full season, if the Sixers have another unhealthy year and they're a team full of unhealthy players, I don't really want to pick them. But I think so. The Celtics, I think, is a weird pick. I get they have talent besides Jason Tatum. And you left off, I think Anthony Simons is really good. They were going to trade him, but I think they kind of like him. Derek White's a very solid, two-way guy. Jaylen Brown's really good, but when they don't have anything else. They're still a very expensive, bad team. Tatum, I don't think he's coming back this year, nor should he. And they lost Drew Holiday, who didn't look the same anyways, but they lost Drew, they lost Porzingis, and those guys, not that they were crucial to their success, but they were very valuable role players that could randomly win you a night. And they lost them.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think there's questions, but I also think that style of play, I think there's a floor, and the floor is 40 wins. With the way they play, I think it's 40 wins.
Of chucking up 43s a game?
Yep, because guess what? They didn't lose 3-point shooters. They still got a bunch of guys who can shoot the rock. They just don't have Jason Tatum.
I could see based on the 3-point variance alone, they could get like
45 and 37, which is an okay record. They're not great, but in the East,
That's
45
a
and
little
37.
rich for my blood, Adam. I don't know if I'm going there yet.
I don't know. I'm just saying you gotta watch out for them.
All right, let me just look at the East. Are there that many bad teams?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, there are. It's really just I look at it, I see the Nets, and that hurts. You see, the Pacers this year might be, pretty depleted, and the Wizards are pretty bad. And I don't think the Heat are good. The Hornets, I'm always low on. Okay, maybe the East is that bad.
Yeah.
So
Well,
maybe
also your Bulls and Raptors picks when they play the Celtics, you look at it. The Celtics still have the two best players on the floor, Jaylen Brown and Derek White.
I would rather have Scotty Barnes than Derek White, barely.
Yeah, but statistical production, Derek White's been
But
a lot better.
Derek White's a very good role player, Adam. I'm not gonna
Averaged
make
20
him
points a
winner.
game the last 3 years, but
It's very nice. Give me Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes could create and do a lot.
I mean for the future,
do a lot
yeah.
more.
But this season, I don't
No,
know.
right now, give me Scotty Barnes.
All right, go to the West. Go ahead.
All right, this one, I think the order, I really think the order could vary drastically in this conference, and there's probably like 4 teams I wanted to put in that I could not. In order, my picks are the Thunder, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, the Rockets. 6 is the Warriors. The Lakers are 7 did I mess it up? I think I wrote down 9
you
teams,
did.
Adam.
Yep.
No, that kills me. Okay.
No, you
Hold
only
on.
did 8 teams. You just missed your numbers.
Oh, that's my bad. Thunder 1, Nuggets 2, Timberwolves 3, Rockets 4, Warriors are 5, Lakers are 6. They make it normally. The play-in teams I have are the Clippers and the Spurs.
Yep, solid. I have a similar one. I have the Thunder at 1, the Rockets at 2, the Nuggets at 3. I have the Lakers sneaking in at 4. I have the Timberwolves at 5. The Mavs I have at 6. I think if they get healthy, I think Cooper Flagg and Anthony Davis can do some things to keep them afloat, and then Kyrie come back in January, and maybe they make a push to sneak into the 6th seed. The Warriors at 7, almost left them out. And then 8, I'm with you. I also have the Spurs.
So I think the difference was you left off the Clippers, and
Yep.
I added in the Clippers, but you added in the
Mavs.
Mavericks.
Yep.
I think the Mavs, could be really good. My things with the Clippers going into the playoffs last year were like people's sneaky pick to win it all. And I don't just want to abandon that. I know they lost Norman Powell, and what they could get into a lot of trouble because of the whole aspiration Kawhi thing, but I don't know if that's going to be an immediate, like, short-term, like, penalty on their current team. I think it's going to be like draft picks are fine, but I don't think it's going to impact them right now. I don't want to pick them because they looked so good last year, and they did lose to the Nuggets, but the Nuggets took the Thunder to 7. They were, Jokic can do anything. I don't see the Mavericks. I don't want to bank on the Mavericks with 2 injury-prone players and a rookie. That's how I look at them, but I see the case, Adam.
Yeah, I'm just, again, you're setting yourself up. I'm allowed to come back at you. They lost Norman Powell. You mentioned who'd they replace Norman Powell with? Your favorite player, right? You love this guy. I mean, you think he's one of the best players ever, Bradley Beal. Yeah, that's who they replaced Norman Powell with. So, I mean, that's a winning player for you. So I know you're probably thinking he's going to help them get to the playoffs. But
Bradley Beal was a really great, fun player on that Wizards team those years ago.
you do not like Bradley Beal. Don't sugarcoat
The
it.
moment he got the big contract on the Wizards, I immediately was like, that's an overpay. No one else was going to be able to give him that with the no trade clause. I thought that was stupid. I think that's fair, and I think I was validated on the Suns.
Yeah, but now you're like he's gonna keep the Clippers in the playoffs because
I think he could provide some offense. I don't think he's Norman Powell. But I
Because
think
the
The team
Kawhi
is
stuff's
moving.
not going to hurt him. James Harden's not, aging James Harden's not going to end up hurting him. They have a great another piece that definitely fits the guys we just mentioned. Chris Paul, he's going to fit. Heck, Ivica Zubac is maybe the only guy who fits on the team.
Zubac is probably the best player consistently because Kawhi is going to play half a season, and James Harden I just despise.
Man,
However, I get how that's a very risk team, but they were so good last year going into the playoffs. I don't want to just abandon that and think they're going to go from that to a misplaying team.
they have a great coach. They
do.
He might be able to make things happen, but I don't know. I'm not trusting the retirement home out there in Los Angeles. The sad thing. Yeah, how'd the Lakers become the young team in LA? How'd that happen?
Yeah, well, it's because they made a under the table deal with the Mavericks to get Luka
Yeah,
Doncic.
yeah. Now they're the young team out there.
And
Crazy.
I think the Lakers could be good, but I could easily see if LeBron's hurt, and then the Lakers don't really have that much support around them. And I think this would be Luka's case. Would be like if he could drag that team without LeBron. I don't really think Aiton's that great. I don't think anyone thinks Aiton's that great. They paid him to leave the Trailblazers last year. Austin Reeves, I think, is good, but a little, maybe repetitive of LeBron and Luka. Who else do they bring in? Who are their other? We haven't talked basketball in so long. I'm blanking, but
They have Dorian Finney-Smith. Is he still with them or?
no, because they like tried tanking his stock, so they were telling teams that he's hurt, and then he was annoyed at them, so then he got upset.
Hold up,
Let's
I'm pulling up their roster here. Give
Rui,
me
I
a
don't want to
sec.
believe it anymore.
Oh yeah, they do
Jackson
still
Hayes
have
is
Rui.
terrible. Bronny, I think, whatever. Dalton Connect didn't really show much. I think
Maxi Kleba. Maxi Kleba.
Kleba. Jake LaRavia was a good offseason
Yeah, that's a
acquisition.
good pickup.
Marcus Smart, I don't know if he has anything left in him. He's known for his aggressiveness
He
and defense.
fits on that team, I will say, just because he plays defense, and a lot of the guys on that team do not play defense. So he will give that junkyard dog mentality. Jared Vanderbilt's still there.
Vanderbilt I like, and Gabe Vincent at the time seemed like a great idea, but he hasn't really worked out. He keeps getting hurt, and then whatever.
He is the perfect example in the modern NBA of a Pat Riley player that played really well for Pat Riley, but every time someone gets a Heat player that's overplaying, it never works out when you get them.
Which Martin brother did that? Was it Cody or Caleb?
Caleb Martin.
Caleb Martin, where's he now?
Is he in
Is he
Philly?
great? Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's in Philly. Max Strus has
Max
been
Strus is
okay. Yeah. There's always those players
is
in
there?
Miami that like play
Oh,
really well.
The guy that went to the Sixers and the Butler sign and trade. That's now back.
Oh, geez. I forget who they got in that trade. Not Tobias Harris, even though they chose Tobias Harris over him.
What's
But
really frustrating is we haven't talked basketball in so long that like when I try to think of guys on the spot, I just blank, and I just really hope I get back to my levels back when I was an everyday guy. I wanted to put the Heat in for the East, but Bam did get hurt, which was kind of upsetting. But I don't know.
the worst thing that could happen to the Bulls, the Raptors, and the Heat is making the play-in and making the playoffs. Worst thing that could happen for them.
Yeah.
They need to rebuild. So, yep, that's what they need.
Well, I want to pick the Lakers every year because of LeBron, but this is the first year where I can't really talk myself into it, honestly, just because I don't think they're gonna be able to do it.
Way to spoil the lead, buddy. We haven't even announced our finals picks, but I guess since you got us into there, go ahead.
Sorry. I'm
Who do you
sorry.
have winning the NBA finals? Who's playing in the NBA finals?
Okay, well, we're yet to have a repeat winner. And the Thunder are younger than all these other teams that have won the finals in recent years, and they are retaining almost all their pieces. They're the obvious pick. However, I think there's one team that has a player better than Shea Gilgeous-Alexander definitively, and that's the Denver Nuggets with Nikola Jokic. Last year he brought them to 7. I think the Thunder stayed the same. I think the Nuggets got a lot better. Nurkic is a way better backup center than DeAndre Jordan. Not that he's even amazing, but that he's a lot better than what they had. I love Westbrook. I really do. He messes things up and he just makes, plays happen, but sometimes those plays are bad. However, without him, I think they could play safer, more brand of basketball that the Nuggets want to play. I think Jamal Murray is going to be more consistent. I think Cam Johnson is way better than Michael Porter Jr. on a daily basis providing defense. I think they come out of the West, and I think they beat the Thunder. I think the Thunder and the Timberwolves, honestly, the Timberwolves, if they're good, they could knock one of them out, but give me the Nuggets. In the East, it's weak. We talked about it. I think there's a clear top 3 of Knicks, Magic, Cavs. I'm never going to pick that Cavs team to win until they show it. The Magic, I think, are still very young. Give me the Knicks. Give me Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby, Cat, Mikal Bridges. Year 2 of them. And we're hearing rumors of Giannis. If there is an in-season trade and it happens to be the Knicks, sign me up. So, no matter what happens with the Knicks, either way, I'm going to love them. Give me Nuggets beating Knicks, though, in the NBA Finals.
How many games?
It'll be 6.
Alrighty.
I would say 5, but I want to be respectful.
Alrighty. This is awkward. We usually don't pick the same team.
Did you
I
pick
also-
the same team?
I also have the Nuggets winning the NBA Finals. I haven't beaten the Cavs. But
Okay.
I have the
then
Nuggets. Yeah.
Talk about the Cavs too, then.
Yeah, I think the Cavs are a good team. I think it's a little disrespectful for you to say I'm not going to pick them till they prove it when nobody in the East has proven it. So, like, I don't know.
The Knicks beat them. Like
The,
the Knicks have gotten farther than the Cavs have ever gotten.
yes, because Jason Tatum tore his Achilles.
They,
Congratulations. So,
it was Game
congratulations.
6, and the Knicks were up a lot anyways. The Knicks were winning that series either way.
Well, he tore his Achilles in Game 5, I believe. And then
Oh, sorry, Game 5. The Knicks
no, he
were
tore
up.
his Achilles in Game 4, and in Game 5, the Celtics without Tatum blew him out. And then in Game 6, the Knicks got.
The Knicks were up 3-1 with Tatum.
That's true. That's
And
true.
I think the Knicks win that series.
Who'd
They're
they
up
lose
3-1.
to in the conference finals?
A really good, fun Pacers team.
Who'd the Cavs lose to last year?
The Pacers?
Yeah, a really fun, good Pacers team. So the Cavs have lost to the team that has won the Eastern Conference the last 2 years. So just to say, because the Knicks made a conference finals, even though they
But-
lost to the same team, the Cavs lost to.
So my argument, there's one, this is the second year of the Knicks, so they should be better because, okay, year one, there's usually a lot of growing pains of figuring things out. They have a new coach, I think fits them better, but I think they're going to be better this year. Now they have the chemistry. The Cavs have been together for a while. I don't think the Mobley Allen fit work. I'm saying the Cavs in the core of Garland, Mitchell.
Mitchell got there in 2023,
Yes,
same time Brunson, the year after actually Brunson got to New York.
but that was their second year or
New
third year.
coach,
Of Mitchell.
new coach this year.
I don't think that's who's their new coach.
Last year they had a new coach. Kenny Atkinson's first year was last
I
year.
was gonna say Kenny Atkinson's good. I don't know why. Yeah, but yeah. So I just think the Mobley and Jared Allen fit in the paint bothers me every time I see it. I think that's part of their downfall. It's not the ball doesn't go their way. It's systematically with their team they have a problem. They have never really addressed it. There's always talks of them fixing it. They never do. I'm not picking the Cavs until they make a real change.
Yeah, I just think that's a little disrespectful because the Knicks, you tell me they don't have a big schematic fall that their two best players can't play defense, and now they've fired a defensive coach to hire an offensive coach that's basically now going to throw
people
defense
around
away.
them who do play defense.
That didn't work for the Pacers. Exposed them like crazy.
The Pacers went to 7 against the Thunder too.
I
The
know, but
Pacers
you've
were
seen
great.
teams exposed. The Pistons almost exposed them. I think you're missing. There was a bad call away from the Pistons winning that series. So in
The
round
Pistons
one,
series did scare me. I will admit, but I think that
So-
team is deep this year too. Then I really think this team, if they're either going to be amazing or they're going to be iffy, and then get a big guy. And then if it's Giannis, I'm going to buy all my stock in a Giannis in New York.
yeah, I think there's a chance they get Giannis, but right now, I think you can't say I'm not going to pick a team till they prove it in the East when the only two teams that have proven it are teams you don't have either of them in the playoffs, and I don't have them in the playoffs either outside of the Celtics. So, like, I think it's a little
The Knicks beat the Cavs a few years ago. It
Yeah.
stunned us. And
Yeah,
that
but-
stuck with me, seeing Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, two big guys, not even being able to rebound. My issue for the Knicks, it's not really the defense, because I think they have players around them who could defend. My concern more so is the fact that they don't really have great rebounding without Hartenstein. I think if Hartenstein was still there, this would be a very easy Knicks for me. They did lose him. I think they do need a good backup big center, that someone that could play, or someone that could play next to Cat. Without that, I do think they are weak on the boards. But if you look at the East, I don't think the Cavs, two big guys, but they play soft. Don't want to
Also,
hear it.
I do have one question.
Yes.
So your 4-5 series, who do you have winning?
My 4-5 series. Let
The
me.
Hawks Pistons. Who do you think wins that series?
I think. I don't know, Adam. Those are my
So
4-5.
pick it. Who wins? Hawks Pistons.
I would probably go with the Hawks.
Okay, so there you go. The Knicks aren't getting out of the second round. Trae Young ain't losing to New York in Madison Square Garden. Not happening.
I really don't like Trae Young. I'll take the Knicks.
Trae Young also. This is going out on Wednesday, October 15th. Tonight at 8:00, he has some announcement with Adam Lefkoe coming out. I don't know if this is another Hennessy ad for Trae Young, but I don't know if he's demanding a trade. I don't know what's going on. Well, because when everyone was mad when LeBron did it, and I was like, yeah, but he didn't have an actual media guy there. Adam Lefkoe covers the NBA.
Yeah.
So this is a true media guy. See, I have no idea what this is going to be. We're recording this before that happens, so I don't know. But
I don't know about the Trae Young thing. I don't really care about Trae Young. I did care about the LeBron one because although it likely wasn't going to be him announcing his retirement, like people were kind of like, I don't think it is.
It was obvious that it was nothing. Like it's like
But
what?
here's my problem with it. The decision the first time was not a good idea.
Yeah.
Do you really want to like bring it back up, LeBron? Do you want to make that like you want to keep that in people's memory of the decision part 2? And I know, but there are people who are going to think that he's going to retire.
And guess what? Guess what it created though? Because a lot of this, I don't know
A
if it
price
was
surge
if
for
it.
tickets at the end of the year.
Well, no, that's what it did for the Lakers. But I don't think this was LeBron's idea or the Lakers. I think Hennessy knew people would watch if we teased a second
But
decision.
LeBron obviously has to sign off on that idea.
Yeah, and LeBron's going to be like, if Hennessy's going to pay me to do it, I'm going to do it because it's called work,
I
doing
would,
his job.
if I were LeBron and I already had all my money, I'd be like, listen, this is a terrible idea. It will get views, but it's going to be a bad
I don't
decision.
know. I was sitting with a friend when it came out, and I said, "That's just an advertisement." We go, "Yeah, we thought it was going to be for Amazon. We thought Amazon was going to be
was
doing some like
Prime Day,
big,
right?
yeah. We thought it was going to be some like big basketball like announcement because they have Amazon is basketball now. So
I thought that was gonna be it, but I was also there was still the part of me that's like, would he retire? And then I thought, I don't
No.
think he would do it this way.
no, he's not. Plus, you say the decision was a bad idea. It raised a ton of money for the Boys and Girls Clubs, so you got to give credit to that.
I know, but we look back at LeBron, I don't think people give him credit for raising money. I think they think of the fact that he like
Well, yes,
made
because
such a
it's
big
it's
deal about
it's
it
LeBron,
and
it's
had,
LeBron
like,
James. It's
the
LeBron James.
kids of
Everything.
Cleveland, the
Yeah,
kids of Cleveland there hoping he stays, and he's like,
it's
"Suck
LeBron
it, you
James. So-
Miami kids."
no, it's LeBron James. Everything good he does, we swipe under the rug, and everything bad he does, we magnify to 1,000. That's
Is
what
that
they do.
exactly how it works? Because I'm a
Yep.
big LeBron fan. I think we do both with both
Well,
things.
because I tell you, a guy retiring 2 weeks before the season starts, guys praise guys to do that, but LeBron does a decision to announce where he's going next, and it's the end of the world. So bad.
I don't think it was a great idea. I will say that. Like, it was a weird publicity stunt. I don't think it was his smartest decision.
I don't care. I mean, it's business, man. Do people watch? Yeah. By the way, the Lakers did not raise any prices for their tickets. Was the resale market, so they can't control the
But
resale market.
that's obviously gonna happen.
But that's not their problem. That's not their prerogative. I mean, prices go up, prices go down for tickets. They can't control that. I mean, it's just if you want to sell your ticket for $1,000 to the Mets season opener next year because you think something's going to happen, go ahead. I'm sure there's people that'll sell the Mariners ticket, even though it's a playoff game and they have a chance to go to the World Series for the first time. They'll be selling Game 4 like crazy because it'll be Max Scherzer's last ever start.
I don't
Could
think
be.
Max Scherzer's last start is gonna be the same as LeBron's final.
No, but it could be.
game.
Clayton Kershaw's last start, obviously people rose tickets up for that with the Dodgers. So
I think that's because Clayton Kershaw's like a life Dodger guy.
I know.
I think LeBron knew though. It wasn't like LeBron said this 10 years ago. He said this when he's in year 23.
yeah.
So I think there's obvious reason to like think he's retiring. but
People
whatever.
misread a situation. That's not his fault. That's not his
okay.
fault.
People misread the situation, but he was trying to have them read into it as if he was going to retire, so that it got eyeballs.
It's called good business. It's called good business. It's good business. I mean, if people watched.
LeBron, I don't think needs anymore. I think.
Well,
he's
Hennessy might. It wasn't him. I said
I-
Hennessy.
I think LeBron had to agree. Whatever. We can move on from this. This is making me mad.
Well, yeah, because you're a LeBron hater. I'm the LeBron guy. I'm the Luca
No,
guy.
I'm not a LeBron hater.
That's what it sounds like.
I
It's just-
always try rooting for LeBron because I would like to be able to say that I watched the best player in basketball, and I can't say that about Michael Jordan. However, I think LeBron's decision here, I think it was a dumb decision.
I don't. I think it was smart. Hennessy sales are going through the roof right now. So hey, how about that?
Congrats, LeBron. He sold more Hennessy.
He did his job. He's a spokesperson and a salesman. When Michael Jordan was selling Big Macs, people were happy. When Michael Jordan was selling Gatorade and shoes, people were happy. So,
LeBron isn't saying be like LeBron with a bottle of Hennessy, like Michael Jordan was saying.
well,
like,
I think that would probably
Gatorade.
get him in more trouble than this decision.
I don't
situation.
know, Adam. It'd be a good marketing tool. It's
Well,
smart
no, because
business.
if he sells, because he can't sell to children, so that's the problem.
Be like LeBron, drink Hennessy. It's for adults, though.
Dang right, dang right. Well, also you drink a glass of wine a day. He tells you that. Very forthcoming. Yeah, Yeah, you
Man,
can't believe you don't like LeBron James. Can't believe it. I
stop it.
can't
I
believe it.
literally like you're
You don't
taking all
like
my
LeBron. You don't like Luca.
you're taking all my favorite players away from me.
Dang right. That's just how it works. Because you talk yourself into a corner, and I just able to scoop
I'm
up
not
the
turning myself into
pieces.
a corner. I'm saying this one specific issue I think was dumb.
Yeah, I don't because I think it did exactly the job they were looking to do. And whether people spent more money on tickets that LeBron's not selling and doesn't get any of the revenue for anyway, I don't think he cares. So,
Doesn't care about the people.
well, I mean, you're paying to watch him, so there you go. And plus, he sat out a bunch of games anyway, so I think people that don't think he cares about the people think that anyway. So,
Doesn't care.
yeah, maybe he doesn't. Or maybe he's just doing what he's told. That's going to do it. Chris, anything else you want to say? I had the Nuggets over the Cavs in 6. I don't think I officially said that, but Nuggets over Cavs in 6.
I'm very upset we picked the same team.
I mean, you want me to flip it? Because I almost had the
No,
Rockets.
no,
I almost had the...
go with your actual pick, but it's surprising for us. What I will say is, I think last year it's really just kicked in. I think as a Team USA basketball, kind of just like it made me so nostalgic for like the 2010s era of basketball, and like it just seemed so much simpler then. It was like you get a really good player, maybe a second really good player, try to surround them with talent, maybe a big three, and then usually the other guys kind of suck, but you have some top talent. And now in the league, there's just so many good people. It's really like tough now to see LeBron isn't controlling a game anymore, and that's sad to me. And I just have this nostalgia for that era. Jokic, as great as he is, but like it doesn't feel like LeBron, back in at the end of his time in Cleveland when he was dragging a team to the finals. You know what I mean? Like I miss the era of the best players being able to really carry a team because it feels like more and more, even the role players on these teams are amazing.
Mhm.
And look at the Thunder. They just top to bottom, they have a bunch of guys who would be like really good, but they're like their sixth best player. So just I miss the era of, whatever. Now we're
The,
just
N-
too good in the league. Need for
the
need
NBA's
expansion.
turned into the NFL, man, with the money and things like that, that every player matters. Role players matter. Player acquisition. GMs now matter more than they ever have because you should be just get the best player and then you'll be fine. So, yeah,
And it
now you,
also is annoying though we can't see like there's no more dynasties and I don't want the Warriors Cavs every year. But it would be nice for a team to win the finals and still be able to be competitive. But it seems like you really have like a 2 year window, 3 year window, and then all the cap and the apron stuff comes into play. Then you have to like disband your whole team once they get good.
yeah, I
And
mean, the
I kind of
Thunder's
miss, kind of miss it.
Thunder are still together. They've locked up their top 3 guys for the future, so they're gonna
Yeah,
have those
but you're
guys around.
gonna lose so much of their depth in the next few years.
Yeah, and that's
And
when
it's
you
just
gotta draft
sad.
and sign guys that fit your depth and player development. That's the job.
But if they signed their top three guys, if someone
Yes.
else pops for them, they can't sign them to like a big deal. They're
Yeah,
out.
but you know what the Thunder have that other teams don't, and why Sam Presti's done a phenomenal job? 1 million draft picks to draft the next guy to do exactly what the other guys are doing. So,
I just think this more than ever, it's harder to create like a long-lasting team, and
yeah,
I think that's partially good because like I think nowadays if we got the Bulls where they're winning, like every time they go to the finals, it would be a little boring to us
hmm
now. However, I would like to see Giannis in another finals. I would like to see Jokic in another finals. I would like to see LeBron in another one since 2020 hasn't been in one, which is kind of crazy, honestly. But I don't think that era is this in this era it's extremely difficult to get 2 titles.
yeah. I like the parity though. I really do because like,
Yeah.
look, I mean, you're saying teams aren't getting there. The Heat have been there twice. The Celtics have been there multiple times. So there's been
I want them
teams
to
that have
win,
been
Adam. I
break
want multiple winners.
Well, it's called how good the league is. That it's hard to that little things affect things, injuries, things like
But
that.
when we look back at NBA history, we're going to compare people to the era of less talent. And we're going to be, oh, so and so had 4 rings. This person only had one. But I think people aren't going to take into perspective. Jokic won one, but it was just as good as those people. But
Yes,
in his era, it was different.
yeah, it is going to be tougher. Welcome to how a lot of guys from the '70s feel. So, because that's what happened in the '70s, is it was parity every single year, and then the Celtics and Lakers came on and won everything. So, welcome to the '70s, Christopher.
But that's
Glad,
old, and we're in current day, so this is
glad
better.
50 years. It's a circle. It just goes back around.
Yes,
And next
oh.
in 2030, we'll be back to dynasties probably. That's just how it works. But no, I think parity's good for the league 'cause I think it allows other fan bases to really be involved. The Pacers, I mean, they've exploded. I mean, the Bucks, of course, with Giannis. Now the Pistons are good again. They're building their way up. The Knicks are good, which I think is good for basketball. But the West, I mean, every team's
Some
good in the
teams
West.
still suck, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Oh,
Hornets,
yeah. The bottom's the
That's
bottom. Yeah. Well, you got to
Yeah.
run your team right. I mean, you can't just roll your hat. Like, you got to make the right decisions. I mean, they've made some questionable decisions at a lot of places. So we'll see how it works. But I think the second apron's been good for what it's accomplished. But of course, it has flaws that have hurt other
I don't
parts.
even like the mission though of the second apron. I think it's too restrictive, and I do like seeing similar teams competing and
I know,
seeing
but
some variance.
Chris, do you see, Chris is allowed to say this because, spoiler alert, Chris doesn't like an NBA team. He's not a
That
fan
is
of
true.
it. He's not a fan. So, like, teams like, I'm a fan of the Jazz. There's fans of the Spurs and the Rock. They're not getting free agents. So you got to give them opportunities to get guys, and now it's getting opportunities to get
I
guys.
think that's
Spreading
the
the
problem.
league.
I care about basketball in a general sense, and I think
So do I,
most,
but-
most people though care about it as from their fan. I think if you're a fan of a single team, this should help you. I care about it from a I always think, but you know, the Lego Movie, how they go into his brain, there's like nothing there. That's like me with like NBA teams of like there is no inclination towards a single team to be a fan of.
Yeah,
I'm
but
completely open just to like pure basketball.
you say that, but the second apron has helped have one of the most exciting playoffs we've ever had this last year.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable, some of the games we saw. The comebacks. The Pacers Thunder was one of the highest rated finals ever somehow. I don't know how, but it was. So, like,
We went 7 games. It was close.
I know, but it's created a great. The basketball has been fun to watch. Now, regular season people aren't watching, but the playoffs, now you're getting people to watch, which has been good. Adam Silver obviously doesn't care if you watch regular season games because you can watch the highlights.
Yeah, actually, this year we're going to do something different. We're not going to watch any basketball games. We're only going to watch highlights on TikTok, and that will tell us everything we need to know.
Well,
Thank
I'll
you,
watch
Silver, for
basketball.
that suggestion.
I know Chris won't watch basketball, but I'll watch basketball. It'll be like, Chris, you'll be like the NFL. You just watch Red Zone. You'll probably just watch the highlights. I know how it works. I mean,
I think part of my problem with basketball is it's really hard to try to watch everyone because
yeah,
like,
it's hard. You got to buy League Pass and have
I'm
access
not
to
doing
every
that.
game.
So I'd
Yeah,
rather
I'm
just
not buying
watch
League
like
Pass
the
either.
nationally
So,
televised games, but sometimes they
yeah,
suck.
but we'll give you credit. At least you sit down and watch the games. There's a lot of people that just won't watch. So
Last year was probably the hardest time I've had watching the games, honestly, just because I felt like the Thunder were inevitable. I was busy in Disney most nights and I couldn't even watch it. And also, like, I just watched the highlights, and that's everything I needed. That's all
what-
basketball is. That's what
that's what
Adam
the
Silver
commission.
told me.
That's
and
what the
I think
commissioner's telling you.
That's what we should do. They
Yeah,
just signed a
so-
new media deal, and he's telling us to just watch the highlights.
Yeah.
So
We'll
thank you,
see.
Adam Silver.
It's going to be fun to watch on NBC this year. Michael Jordan's going to be doing some coverage, which will be fun to see. Some of the insights of some new faces inside the NBA is on ESPN now. So things have moved around, which I think will be fun to get other people's perspective. I hope Michael Jordan, which he has been a little bit like this, which I think is good. I hope he's different than some of the other old guys, which is just our era was so good and these guys suck. I hope he at least gives actual insight. Michael's been good at that because he's been an owner and has
And
been
he was
around the
saying
guys.
he wants to like make it clear that everything for him was not sunshine and rainbows the whole
Yeah.
time. You know.
Yes,
And
so.
I was listening to a podcast that had Charles Barkley on it, and I love Charles Barkley, and I think he's super interesting. I think he's smart, but he was just saying things that were so like he was contradicting himself in his own point. He was like, "No one nowadays wants to win by themselves. They all want to team up with their buddies." Blah 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 blah. And they're asking him about like winning.
When I was in Houston,
but he was like, "Well, it was in my era." You know, like, I wish I could play with other people, but the Sixers traded everyone away, and then blah, blah, blah. Then they trade all the good guys. He goes, but I would have loved to have had help to win a ring. I'm like, did you want help to win a ring, or did you want to do it by yourself? Because that's what you want out of these players. Like, pick your... Did you want... Like, what point is he trying to make? Are we allowed to have help?
He went to Houston to play with Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler, and then they got Scottie Pippen after Clyde retired. So
Well, they didn't call him out on that. They were just saying, like,
No,
about the
they-
Sixers when they traded Moses. It was like, we would have won because we had all this talent together. And
Remember,
I
super
thought that
super teams didn't exist until LeBron James. It's not like the Lakers had multiple MVPs and the Celtics had multiple MVPs, and Michael Jordan had by far the best team in the '90s. And it's not it's the Shaq and Kobe Lakers. Yeah, it's like
That's what I mean. Is I hope Michael Jordan supports, I think some people will like understand more.
Yeah, Michael Jordan has the ability to kind of bring basketball back together. I know this is a real
Yeah.
like political thing, like to bring up, like bringing everyone back together. But Michael Jordan actually does have the ability, just because he can unite the two eras together. So,
Oh,
yeah.
perfect.
Should be fun. Should be a fun season, to say the least. It should be interesting. I think a lot of guys are gonna be fun to watch what the Bucks do. It's gonna be fun to watch the Nuggets kind of rebuilding back up. See how the Thunder defend their title. No teams went back to back since the 2018 Warriors, so it'll be fun to see if they can be the first team to do that. But like I said, it's gonna be fun. We'll be back on Friday for our regularly scheduled football. Kind of what we'll do. We're gonna start adding Wednesday episodes during basketball season when it fits, when there's things to talk about. We'll make sure to get our basketball coverage in as well. But that's gonna do it. Please subscribe to the channel. Please go check out all our shorts. We really, really appreciate it, whether it be on TikTok, Instagram, or here on YouTube Shorts. For my partner Chris Reynolds, I am Adam Sheets. Thank you for listening.